Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome back. It's your boy, your favorite host and MC, Ronell Blackman, to another Holla Black podcast episode where we are brave leaders that are accountable to communicating knowledge, and we hope to encourage others to do the same. Once again, we're here talking about overcoming fear. What are some practical ways that we can do this each and every single day? This is part two. Part one, we had Natalie Cabanas. As well as Eduardo Cabanas, that join us in and join the discussion and talking about the first five, right? Here we're going to cover the last five, or should I say the secondary five. But before we get started, I want to make sure that each person that is listening to this podcast knows that we're encouraging you to like, share, and comment. We want to hear from you. We want to know how these podcast episodes are inspiring conversations to help build our community, hopefully to become better today than we were yesterday. Excuse me. I had an event last night, so my voice is a little bit hoarse, but neither here nor there. We're going to dive straight into, before we get started, also, I want to encourage or ask if you would check us out on YouTube as well so that you can see the video live, so that you can also subscribe to the video, or should I say to our YouTube channel, so that it can allow for us to build community to more and more individuals as we keep sharing our message, as we keep sharing the different conversations that we're having with each podcast episode. Now, with that being said, I want to share the motivational quote for this episode, which is good, better, best. Never let it rest. Ooh, I like that. Till your good is better and your better is best. That's by St. Jerome. I also want to share with you a biblical passage that I got that I truly believe is inspiring, not only to me, but so many people around me. Philippians 4:6 of the New Living Translation. It says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Buddy of mine's always said, how you do anything is how you do everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he's done. I know some people are like, man, is this a spiritual podcast? Is it? I just love to share the fact that I am faith based, but the fact that I truly believe that it is a way that I have developed and reached a lot of my goals, or a lot of the successes that have come my way, is through my belief in God. So I like to share a verse with everyone as well. I want to also go over the fact that, last week we defined fear. We talked about, how it's a concern or it brings anxiety. We also want to talk about those first five ways, practical ways that we can overcome fear. Number one, starting with acknowledging your fear. Yes, we talked about that. Acknowledging your fear being number one. That's the number one thing that, we always should do, is recognize and name said fear, right? Understanding why we're afraid and how it allows us to address it effectively instead of avoiding it. Oftentimes we try to avoid it. Number two, breaking that thing down, right? Dividing overwhelming fears into smaller, manageable steps. Number three, preparing and planning. We brought E on, we brought Nat on. We talked about whether it's professional or if it's personal, preparation can reduce fear significantly. We also talked about number four, reframing your mindset. I love it. Shout out to Jada, Dr. Jada Jackson. Hill, who came out with a book talking about, reframing your mindset, right? Viewing fear as an opportunity for growth rather than threat. Then number five, practicing visualization, right? Having those practicing habits, should I say, to see yourself succeed, see yourself, what it looks like for your family to be on vacation, right? For you to reach those goals and how it will make you feel. Now, with that being said, I want to transition now to number six. Number six, developing that support system. Many of us may have people around us, right, that feed into our dreams, but there are also possibly some folks that, may be around us that deter us away from our dreams. I want to know, like, is that you? Like, do you know? I know you're thinking about some folks that you probably had to step away from, or had to ask, hey, I need you to step up out of my presence, out of my vibe, because you're killing my vibe. You're killing my energy, right? Like, you want to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who encourage you, who uplift you. I remember back in the day working with a group named Booster Thon Fun Run. And they gave me the uplift award, right? Because they could see that my presence, I came into people. I hate a negative energy that's around me. So every time I'm in the presence of someone, I hope to encourage them. I hope to uplift them. I hope to keep them focused and engaged on their goals and how they can be successful. Because ultimately, I know that if they're not happy, if they're not excited, if they're not where they want to be, then ultimately it does affect me. So selfishly, yes, selfishly, I want to help other people. So again, talking through fears with trusted individuals that can provide us just new perspectives and reassurance that maybe we're not even alone. I know a lot of times you may feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. So again, you want to take step number 6. You want to think about the fact that how you can develop a selective support system that will not only encourage you in having different conversations, but also reaffirm, give you different perspective, give you reassurance on not only where you want to go, but also who you are and who you could be in the future. All right. So that's number 6. Number 7, we're going to talk about focusing on the present. Many times we focus on our past. Many times we, think about the future and can get overwhelmed, can get anxiety based on, can have that fear creep in because, there's so much that can, happen, so to speak, so many unknowns. Or we may focus on the past. I think about the fact that when I was training for this past marathon, how all I could think about was, man, how I cramped up or how I needed nutrition or how I needed hydration. So the fear would try to creep in on, man, am I prepared? Am I ready? Right. But me focusing on the present and recognizing the fact that at this point, it's race day. I've done all that I could do to prepare for this moment. And I practice the mindfulness type of steps of, just recognizing where I am, where my body is, right? Keeping my thoughts grounded in the present moments of gratitude. The fact that I'm running with Cal Pease Foundation, right? They're talking about pushing beyond limits. They're in tandem, they're duo running these marathons, right? That's what I got a chance to do. And it allowed for me to just look around and say, man, there's so much to be grateful for, so much to be, appreciative of me being right here and focusing in on this present. I mean, the present is the thing that matters most, right? The present is the thing that's going to push the needle forward and allow for us to reach our future goals. But then also the present allows us to say, hey, we've had some experiences. There's no reason that we need to fear where we are, what we're doing, or how we can achieve our goals or the things that we've set up, that finish line, so to speak, because guess what? Be here right now. I think about the fact also we talked about one magical mile, right? 1 mile at a time, small bites, small pieces, small parts that will help us to elevate and to reach our end goal. So, number 7, again, focusing on the present, taking time, being mindful, that present moment, taking that deep breath in, having faith, inhaling confidence, exhaling doubt, recognizing the fact that we are here, right here and now. Things of the past, they don't matter. Things of the future, they're affected by if we take action today. So that's number 7. Number 8, challenging negative thoughts. Everyone has them. Okay. You are not alone. If you by chance thought that you were alone in, having stinking thinking, so to speak, right? Negative thoughts. I can't do this. I can't do that. What if I fail? What if I don't succeed? What if, they don't like me? What if I stumble or fumble over my words? Whatever the case is, replace the what if I fail with what if I succeed? So start asking yourself that question, right? What if I succeed? Where will my life be? Where will my family be? Where will my relationships be? Where will I be and feel after reaching those levels of success? Because remember, it's level by level by level that we reach these things. Question and reframing self doubt into self belief is the way that we together and individually can challenge those negative thoughts. Instead of saying, this is what happened and this is why I won't succeed, let's start challenging our thoughts to say, hey, this is what's going to happen and this is why we will succeed. With that being said, right there, I'm going to take a quick pause, take a quick moment, and gather up as we complete the rest of this podcast. Yes, 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 yes. Here we are. We are back. Now, running back, or should I say, getting back into place where we just left off, we talked about challenging negative thoughts, right? Like we want to challenge all those naysayers that might be in our mind. They may even be, different things that we've possibly even heard from our past, or, instead of the assumption of the future, let's again stay in the present and again challenge those negative thoughts. Instead of saying, what if I fail? Let's now reframe that and say, what if I succeed? See yourself in and on that level of success. All right. Now, with that being said, we're going to move to action step number 9. That's right. 9 thing that you can do to eliminate fear. We're eliminating fear out of the pursuit of our goals. Now, right here with number 9, we're talking about resilience. Building resilience, should I say, through action. Building resilience through action means that we're talking about taking small steps outside of the comfort zone regularly. Ooh, I love this part because I like to think about the fact that, comfort provides, or should I say, creates complacency. Right? Like comfort puts us in a position to where we're not growing, we're not moving forward, we're not developing, right? Like we need to build, if there's any comfort, it needs to be being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Let me say that again. I know you heard it. I know you're trying to figure out, like, yo, Ronell, what are you talking about? Building, or should I say, being comfortable with being uncomfortable. When you lean into the discomfort, when you get outside your comfort zone regularly, every successful attempt builds courageousness. It develops the courage in you. It reduces the level of fear, false evidence appearing real over time, right? We want to eliminate that fear. We want to get rid of it. We want to build resilience to allow for us to see something and say, man, you know what? I was faced up against that. I remember when I didn't know how to ride my bike. Now, hopping on a bike and pedaling, even if I haven't done it over a span of months, years, right? I'm able to get on and do it. And I have the resilient mind, the confidence that's been built up because it's been done. Whether I get on a keyboard and I start to type up a manuscript or a story, or we log in and we drop another podcast, right? Back to back to back to back. What it's doing is building a resilience of fear, right? Like, how will they hear me? How will they speak? I say this all the time when I'm training up new MCs and hosts, when I'm, helping them to create their business, their brand. It's always about, hey, putting yourself out there. I know I was one of them. I was one of those people that was so fearful of getting up and standing up in front of people and speaking. I mean, I can even remember the first time I heard my voice on a microphone. I was like, wow, that sounds raspy. That sounds weird. That sounds quirky. Why is my voice doing, kind of this roller coaster of up and down and up, whatever the case may be, right? Like I found that after me speaking time after time, after me encouraging time after time, after me being in front of crowds, large crowds, time after time, I was able to build up a confidence, a resilience of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. You get it? You understand what I'm saying? I hope you do. I hope you do. And I hope you're following along, and I hope you're recognizing that, these are all things that are reachable, things that are doable each and every single day, each and every single should I say experience that you might even be up against. All right. And with that being said, number 10, last but definitely not least, this is real. And this is where I think a lot of people have a tough time with, because they feel like, hey, I could just talk to my friend. I could just talk to, or I can read a book, or I can just think myself through this, right? But number 10 is seeking professional help whenever it is necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, people, community, Holla Black community, like we got to get rid of the shames, and I truly believe that more and more people are doing so, and they're speaking up about this. But like, seeking that professional help, it is actually necessary. It's necessary if all of your professionals that are in that field actually have to have one themselves. You got to unload, you got to offload those deep rooted fears, those phobias, right? Like, let's consider talking to a therapist. Let's consider talking to a coach. Think about how they can provide us with different tools and techniques that are tailored to your needs, especially if it's in a specific niche. If it's in a specific space and place, why not seek out those that have mastered the techniques in figuring it out, right? Those experts, those that specifically study and practice this. I was thinking about this, talking about this the other day to my barber, right? Was like, man, you know what? I really wanted to be able to cut my own hair, but I couldn't get it quite sharp. I couldn't get that fade, that taper, that line up. I just didn't feel like I was looking the exact same way. Well, that's because I'm not an expert in this craft, right? I'm not going to continue to do something that is one of the most important things to me, right? In presenting myself. I'm not going to continue to do it myself if I can't do it right. I'm going to seek out professional help. Once again, if it's necessary, and I truly believe that it is, this is coming from your boy, your favorite host and MC, Ronell Blackman. I definitely feel that we can get past and get over that hump of fear if we check in and check up with those deep rooted phobias, fears, and get the consultation from that therapist or coach that again can provide us the tools that we need in order to be successful. Because guess what? Also, they can do, they can tailor it to your needs. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, it's your boy, your favorite host and MC, Ronell Blackman. And I'm so excited. I'm so appreciative. I'm so thankful that you allowed for me to occupy this space, this time, and hopefully create some community around having an intentional conversation. And if you enjoyed this podcast episode, please make sure to share, like, and subscribe. Now, whether you're on iTunes, Spotify, Buzzsprout, or whatever it might be, follow me at Ronell Blackman and also follow at Holla Black Podcast. Speaking of, if you would consider go ahead and logging on to YouTube, subscribing, hitting that subscription button, right? Whether it's at the top of the screen, the bottom of the screen, wherever it is, right? Subscribing to this podcast so that we can continue to build community. Please, again, share, like, and comment. We want to hear from you. We want to know how this podcast is or has been a blessing, not only to you, but also to others. Once again, we want to continue to grow our community to build a better future, to become better than we were yesterday. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, holla black at your boy. Let's go.